The loading gallery, sorry?
Yeah, we're suffering from...
Yeah, forgive me, John, I don't understand the terms.
Okay.
Well, this goes down to where the...
This is the
ammunition would have been?
the powder hoist.
Let me get over here. So this bit of timber here is...
a reproduction of the silk bags that they would have put the powder in.
Whoa, and that's the size of them?
Yeah, 140 pounds. It's about 72 or...
So that's what's behind the projectile?
Yeah.
That's the bag?
That's the bag.
That's the bag to push the projectile, but it would have been gunpowder behind it?
Yeah.
And it would have been more than that?
No.
The same size?
Same size. 140 pounds, about 68 kilo of cube powder.
Wow.
It was thick, heavy powder.
Wow.
And that was done to control the burn.
So...
And they were silk bags. They were never...
130 pounds. We're talking about, let me think, we're talking 60 kilos, maybe more? 70 kilos?
68.
Yeah.
And they were terrifically powerful. They would have...
The reason why I know, because I once worked with a powder monkey that on his farm, he used to blow up trees, and we put 3 sacks of 30 kilos either side of the tree and blew it up in the air, probably about 20 metres, and there was a second explosion, blew it apart, and the gum tree, pieces the size of a car used to blow up our head.
Yeah.
So we're talking 100 kilos, well that's 70 kilos, that's a massive amount of powder.
Yeah.
Well, we're talking, nitropil and that stuff,
Yeah.
but it's still quite big bang.
Yeah.
And this is your hoist?
Yep, that's the hoist.
We're looking down there.
By a...
in the dark?
In the dark, there's a speaking tube to let you know what the powder is.
Yeah.
And
another hoist for the other side?
the other hoist...
Oh, that's for the projectile?
Projectile. 400 pound, and then divide by 2, and that's 200 and...
something kilo.
Kilo.
About 2.5, about 220 kilos.
Yeah.
And this trolley,
Yeah.
that's obviously a replica?
Yeah. And it's a ammunition trolley to run it out and around.
Yep.
Now, if you come in here, there were hooks on which they hung various pieces of equipment. That's the pass box or canister for the...
Wow.
For the 64.
To load.
There's a trough.
Well, the 64 is a small one, it was on the side, not this big one. This big one is twice as big.
That's the 10-inch.
That's a 10-inch.
There's a shell trolley.
Oh.
And a couple of whips made of hessian.
So the shells went on that?
Yeah.
That was the ammunition?
Yeah. And the ammunition came around separately.
Whoa. I'm going to have to get my torch out.
I don't
want that.
This is one of the few remaining forts in good a condition in the world.
Yeah, look at the condition of this, people.
Most of the other forts...
This was a Federation community project. Restoration of the mechanical loading system.
Okay.
And when was this done?
Now, the shell trolley would have dragged the shell round to this point here.
Yeah, oh, okay, that one that we were showing me earlier.
And the shell would have been dropped down and then manhandled into the trough. And that...
So this all raises and lowers, does it?
Sorry?
That just goes backwards and forwards.
Yeah.
So they'd have to carry it up to that position and stand up there and put them in manually into that position of that trough.
Yeah.
So they would have run around the outside and put it in.
With the trolley, they probably would have the trolley would have been designed such that they would just drop it in and then put the powder behind it and then ram it down and lift the trough by a winch at the back.
Well, there's a winch here for the 10-inch.
Yeah.
There would have been a handle originally, but
Yeah.
someone, oh, it's here.
So it's hanging there.
It's hanging there. So lucky enough, the thieves hasn't got in to get that.
No.
Can I just go through that door, please?
You certainly can.
Actually, over in that corner is a pump.
Right.
Held 15 gallons of water,
Yeah.
and you winched it up
Right.
with the winch, and the pressure of the counterweight would have squirted water via this little hose,
Right.
and you would have been able to clean out the barrel.
So the barrels were washed by water, by hose.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So there's a weight over there
Yeah.
The counterweight?
There's a pump.
and a pump. Oh, it's a pump, is it?
Yeah.
That weight, that big weightlifting thing on is the pump.
The pump is underneath.
Well, and it pumped.
15 gallons of water.
And this would have, looks like this was on chain, so it would have lifted. It lifts.
It lifts. And of course you've got the lever principle.
So
Yeah.
why would this lift?
Sorry?
This goes backwards and forwards,
Yeah.
but the bottom one lifting.
Yeah, but bottom one lifts.
So
the
to drop the spent
Yeah.
cartridge out,
Yeah.
because you got to basically load cartridges and load
The bag.
the bag.
Push the bag and the rammer.
So basically this lift goes down. This lifts down to the ground. So you pull, this would come up, and then you could put the and they
powder
put
and the charge.
and then they lift it up.
And then
To the barrel.
lift it up. It would have been probably lifted up by the.
So the poor men wouldn't have to lift it up to the
No.
end of the barrel. They would this would lower to the ground,
And
and then they put loads of bits into it and then push them in one at a time.
Yeah. But
It's still a big job.
Oh yeah.
You still know you're doing it.
There were 18 men per gun, and the whole premise was settled on.
As you remember, you told us this was manned by 15 personnel.
Yeah.
50 personnel, and 18 stayed here permanently, lived on site.
Yeah. The idea was if there was an emergency and a call out,
The 18 could
the
start.
18 would split into two teams and then start engaging with the flank guns, which could fire 3 rounds every 1.5 minutes.
Yeah.
These guns were capable of firing 1 round every 1.5 minutes.
So the other men that would have come in the time of attack, they would have come from another fort.
Well, they would have come from the volunteer artillery.
Okay.
You've got to remember that we were backed by volunteer. They would have manned the interior of the fort and probably skirmished
Yeah?
all along the coast. If you'll excuse me,
John's going to have to lock up that door.
Yeah.
And these look like some more wads. Wow. And this is the ammunition trolley John was talking about. So you take the ammunition around to load into the front of the gun. So we'll come out this way. Mark II.
A lot of the health and safety doesn't appear in this position.
Oh, back then you wouldn't even have heard of it. What are these, John?
They're hand spikes for moving the 64 pounder.
Oh,
I can get leverage.
Yeah. Now, I think it was Isosceles said, give me a fulcrum and a lever and I'll move the earth.
And there's the first of the smaller guns that we saw. This is one just sitting here. And the original door. Oh no, this is the... So this is the unrestored gun. A 10 inch. This one's unrestored. Obviously need a lot more money to restore these guns.
But also they have bricks. And if you go to Wallaroos Jetty, really big stores,
Yep.
you'll find the Brazilian magazine on the shore.
So what's below us?
Magazine.
Oh, we can go down there? All these steps are made of slate, John.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
I think they would.
They don't do this stuff anymore, do they?
Yeah, they've actually surprisingly well worn.
Yeah, very nice stairs.
Yeah.
And we're going to need a torch here again, so I'll put my light on. Whoa.
Now,
This was the magazine.
this is the main magazine. The two dispense stores would have contained both powder and...
And that goes to the hoist.
No, that goes to the lighting galleries. One man was allowed to carry matches in the fort.
Oh,
And he was the lamp lighter.
so you got a lamp.
Everything in here...
So there's one there too. There's a lamp there.
Yeah,
So there's another one up there.
yeah.
And that's it. And you couldn't have lamps, naked flame near gunpowder.
Yeah.
That
That's
was,
right. And they were also candles. They were double wick candles. We use commercially very
yeah, of course. You can't get them.
And here's the hoist for the powder.
Yep.
Now it would have come up in the pass box. It's all bronze. And
There's the winch.
the winch is all right. We go over to the other side.
Whoa, there's a whole room in here.
There is a stool.
Was it chain or cable in the day?
Chain. And you can
And how many tons of explosives would have been, or how much gunpowder would have been stored here?
there would have been probably 200 or 300 shells, plus in the powder magazine there would have been about at least 50 bags of gunpowder at
Quite a few ton.
so probably closer to a ton. Now,
What's this? Oh, that goes in the gunpowder room.
yeah, and you notice that it is again.
I can have a look with the camera.
Yeah, it's hinged,
It's hinged. Yeah, yeah.
and
And
when
it's
we
got.
get
Is there gunpowder in there now?
No, we
No,
don't.
we don't. The gunpowder is stored somewhere else
Yeah,
for safety reasons.
yeah, for offside. Now,
Offside.
if you look here, on the other side of that, this is a
Holy. So that can be split up. It isolates.
yeah. Now the powder would have been passed through, and in here are the barrels.
Yeah.
The powder would have come in these. They're about a 30-litre barrel,
Yep.
and you notice there's no bung.
No.
They would have been tin lined.
Yeah, they're replicas.
Then you would have dropped off the top sets of bands
Yep.
and then punched the.
Alright, so they weren't being used again, they would have been just tossed.
Yeah.
So what's the table down here for?
The table down here is to stack your powder cartridges,
Yep.
and as needed, these would have been taken to the laboratory
Mm-hmm.
to build the silk bags. Now you notice I said there was canvas bags on the smaller guns,
Yes.
flank guns and
Yep.
the artillery pieces. On the 10-inch, they always use silk.
Silk. And of course the light wells behind there.
Yep.
And it would have had glass in it. It wouldn't have been open because there would have been flame in there. There would have been, although that one looks as though it's broken.
I think it's cracked. Or it
cracked.
looks like a snail's gone across it.
It's cracked, yeah.
Yeah.
But they would have had glass in them, and they, you know,
Yeah.
for obvious reasons.
And also, you notice there's
Yeah, there's another door here. There's a seat in here.
yeah. Now, it wasn't to give the men a rest. It was to give men an area to change. They would have taken off their leather boots.
All right. So this is original.
Yeah. Oh no, this is reproduction.
It's been restored, but
Yeah.
this is originally where they would have
Yeah.
put their boots on to work in here.
Yeah. Now, do you want to go into the shell room?
I'd love to. Whoa.
You notice there's duck boards.
Yeah,
and
well, they don't sit them on the ground.
No. Well, these weigh 400 pounds, but these are 70 pounds of concrete.
Yeah, of course. These are replicas.
And of course, again, we use the sliding wall.
Yeah, well, they've got to isolate this.
Yeah.
Although this wasn't the powder room, this was just a shell room.
Yeah.
But
And
still, did they have exploding projectiles in those days or not?
they had an 8-pound driving charge in the base of the shell.
So they would have had explosives in them.
Yeah, but they had a contact fuse. So in other words, in the base, that was screwed in so that if it hit anything or even hit the water, there was another explosion that drove it through the metal.
So
As I said, there were special canvas
is Jill in there?
uniforms.
You coming, Jill? She's in the powder room.
Better not lock him in, or her in.
Yeah. At least these steps aren't as steep.
No, you can always grab hold of.
Thank you. There we go. Just gotta lock it there. I've noticed there's another room under here.
Yeah.
So your main one, this is your main.
Yeah, main magazine.
So that's a secondary one, is it?
Yeah, the dispense doors on either side.
So there's one on either side. So there's one up there on that wall over there, which is another, that's a dispense store.
Yep.
And the other one was underground on this side.
Yep.
This one's got a ramp. We're lucky.
It's after 12. I don't know what your plans are, but.
Eventually we're probably going to have lunch.
That's a 16-pounder.
But you close at 12.
Yeah.
And technically, is it possible for us to have a look in there and then we'll go? Leave you, because I know
If you want mine.
so that you go. Sorry about that. I didn't know what the time was getting away from us, wasn't it?
Oh, it's,
But thank you so much for showing us around. This has been amazing. So one quick peek in here. That goes in.
I'll take you through to the... Now this is where they would have stored all the sidearms and the equipment
Yep.
for the 64s.
We'll just quickly go through.
A bench. We're missing the double doors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this has all got rooms in it.
Yeah.
There's
That's
a ton
the
of one.
powder room.
That's a powder.
Again.
That's another powder room. Let's have a look in here. It's a powder room again. What? Have a quick look. And this is a projectile room.
Yeah. That's the...
This is the 64.
64 explosive.
Right.
Do you want to come in?
You want to come in?
Well, if you go in, I can get a photo.
Okay. Because John has to go soon.
Now,
Oh, there's a tunnel all the way through.
Yeah. We're the only fort in the world
This is through the rampart.
through the upper works.
Upper works. So what do you call what the guns are sitting on?
The battery.
Battery. So this goes under the battery.
It goes under the battery. At this point, you're outside.
We're outside. This is a riflery.
Yeah, this is what they call Crimean, which is French for covered breastworks,
So there's another dry
dry ditch.
ditch around this.
Yeah, and that's quite deep.
So if anyone was to get into this or try and attack this fort, they'd go through the dry ditch and get shot.
Yeah, they go. So if you look at through the gun porch,
Yeah.
you can see the
Well, there's
killing, what they call the
killing zone. Yeah.
Yeah. And of course, there's a V in the sandhills.
Oh, where the bushes are.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have been there, and you can shoot over the sand dunes.
Well, we can shoot in the only gap in the sand.
Ah.
And you've got a 64-pounder sitting above your heads.
Yeah.
So we're about 20 feet under the surface of the fort.
Wow.
And it is just incredible bit of engine. This is all carved out of sand.
Yeah, this is all sitting in sand. There's no stone around this. It's amazing. So all this would have been,
Yeah. And of course the dry ditch is deep enough, it's 10 foot deep.
Wow. Wow. I'm going to head this way. Oh, look at this. There would have been a lamp in the middle of this, you reckon?
Yeah,
The lamps.
we've got one battery lamp in.
Yeah. I'll have to come back when they have an open day when they fire one of the cannons. If they do.
Our next open day,
Yeah.
if we can get some work done to clean up the fort,
Yeah.
is the 21st of April. We're keeping it low key.
I mean, low key. You don't want a lot of people coming.
Yeah, well, let's put it this way. We haven't got that many members
Yeah.
due to illness and people being...
So if people want to come, they better get in, book in soon because numbers will be limited.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. I'll head out and then Julia can come. But yeah, I mean... So if you want to come, get onto the website, reserve your ticket.
Well, not so much reserve your ticket.
Reserve your spot.
Yeah. Be aware that...
Numbers are limited.
I think We normally charge, I think it's about between 15 and 20
Yeah.
for.
Can you pull that?
Oh,
No,
And for everyone out there, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and come check out Fort Glanville,
on the corner of Barra and Military Road.
Barra Military Road, and look at the web page and book in, because it's open Tuesdays and tours once a month.
Yeah.
On a Sundays, right?
Yeah.
But
Once every third month.
once every third week in the month.
And
All right.
we won't be open in January, July, June, July, and August.
Obviously.
And our new season starts in September.
All right. Thanks, John. You take care.
You look after yourself. Safe,
Bye.
yeah.
Okay. Bye bye.